Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. In this tutorial, we discuss the Infosys interview question for the role of automation tester as well as manual tester. In the last video, we discussed the round 1 interview question for the Infosys. Now we discuss the round 2 interview question, that is a techno managerial round. Before moving to the video discussions, I prepared the notes which contain the 2000 plus interview question and its answer. I have gathered all the interview questions from the LinkedIn, blog, WhatsApp, Telegram, and try to provide its answer. I will give the notes link in the description box and in comment box also. This document will definitely use to crack the interview. In coming days, we'll update this document as I get the more question. Now we discuss the techno managerial round interview question. So let's begin. The first question is explain about your framework. I have already discussed this question in the previous video, so you can check my previous video for that question. The next question is Selenium syntax for the scrolling 2000 pixel. For the scrolling at a 2000 pixel, we generally use the JavaScript executor. The JavaScript executor is an interface in Selenium which provide a way to execute JavaScript code from your Java program. So for that, first we have to write a means first we have to set the path of our Chrome browser. After setting the path of the WebDriver executable, then we have to initialize the WebDriver. That is WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. Then we have to open the website, that is we have to launch our website with the help of get method driver.get, and here we have to pass the URL of our website. Then we will maximize the screen. This is the optional. Then for now we have to use the JavaScript executor. So we have to first create the instance of the JavaScript executor, because we can't directly use the JavaScript executor directly, because JavaScript executor is an interface. So now we have to scroll the at a 2000 pixel. So for that we use the execute script method of a JavaScript executor interface. So for that we use a js.execute script, and here we use the window.scrollby method, and here we give the two parameter. First is 0 and second is a 2000 parameter for the pixel. So here the first parameter 0, which is used for the vertical scrolling, and the second parameter, that is 2000 pixels, which is used for the horizontal scrolling. And if we have to ask the interviewer how to move the particular element, means how to scroll on the particular element, that's time we use the method of the JavaScript executor like the scroll into view. Means here we have to use the js.execute script and scroll into view. In the bracket we have to write the x path of the particular element on which we have to scroll. The next question is explain the interesting bug you found. So we have to tell them like in one of my recent project, we were working on automating the testing for a dynamic web application, which used the Ajax to load the content without refreshing the page. So I encountered the interesting bug where the automated test would fail intermittently after clicking the button that triggered the Ajax request. The test would then attempt to verify the presence of new element on the page, but sometimes it would fail even though the element was loaded correctly. This issue was difficult to reproduce and diagnosis because it happened intermittently. After investigating, I realized that the failure was due to the race condition. So the test was trying to check for the new element before it had finished loading, as the adjust request was asynchronous. This caused the test to the fail randomly based on the network delay. So to fix that issue, I introduced explicit wait using the Selenium to wait for the new element to become visible before proceeding with the validation. This approach made the test more stable, eliminating the intermediate failure. So as a result, the overall reliability of our test improved and we were able to prevent the false positive. We save the time and increase the confidence in our testing process. So in this way, we have to tell the answer to the interviewer. Here I gave you the my answer. So if we have to add your point to this answer, you can add it. Now move to the next question. The next question is a syntax for the right click in the Selenium. So when the user performs the right click using the mouse on a particular element to perform the sum action is called the right click. And Selenium WebDriver API does not support the user interaction like mouse over, right click, context click, and the double click. So here we use the action class in the Selenium. So when we use the action class in the Selenium, we have to import the some package like org.openqa.selenium and interaction package. Now we have to see how it works. So first we have to instantiate the object of the action class, that is actions, action equal to new action, and here we have to pass our driver. After creating the object, we have to locate the web element, that is web element driver dot find element, and here we have to write the XPath. Here we will create the object of the action class. Here we will locate our web element. Now we have to use our context list method, means we have to right click on the particular element. So we will use the context list method of the action class. Context list method navigate the mouse pointer to the middle of the wave element and then perform the right click. For that we use action dot context click, and here we have to pass the web element XPath or web element, and here we have to call the dot perform method of the action class. So in this way we write the code in the Eclipse. Now move to the next question, that is syntax for the taking screenshot. So the next question is syntax for the taking the screenshot in Selenium. So why we require the screenshot in the testing? A screenshot is required for the bug analysis, especially in the case of the test case failure. Whenever the test case fail, we need some attachment to verify that failure, and the Selenium can automatically take a screenshot during the execution. But if the user need to capture a screenshot on their own, they need to use the take screenshot method, which notify the web driver to take the screenshot and store in the Selenium. So we will see that for the step 1 we have to convert web driver object to the test screenshot, that is, and here text screenshot is a interface. So text screenshot, and we can't create the object of the interface, so we have to that is text screenshot src shot. Here we use the ts also equal to text screenshot and the web driver. Here web driver is our web driver that we are using in the Selenium script. Now the second step is we have to call the get screenshot as a method, which is the method of the test screenshot interface, and this method is used to create the image file. So here get text screenshot is an interface and get screenshot as the method of that interface. So for that we will write the code like file src file equal to src short, or here we use the ts because our object name is a ts dot get screenshot as a method, and here we will call the output type dot file. It's a method. Now we have to copy the file to the destination location. For that we use the file dest file equal to new file, and here we will write our path. Now we will copy this path to the particular destination with the help of file utils.copy file. Here first parameter is the source file and the second parameter is the destination file. So in this way we will take the screenshot of a particular test case or a particular bug. Now the next question is syntax for the file upload and the download using AutoIT. So first we will see the what is AutoIT. So AutoIT is a scripting language which is designed for automating the Windows GUI and the general scripting. Basically, WebDriver cannot communicate with the native operating system dialog boxes like the file upload, Windows, or automating the file upload process is a difficult. AutoIT, and for that we use the AutoIT because AutoIT can handle the file upload dialog and the Selenium WebDriver can handle the web-based portion of the application. After downloading the AutoIT and installing the AutoIT in your machine, we have to write the some code or some code into the AutoIT script editor. That is first is a control focus. Here we have to pass the title, text, and the control ID. It is used to set the input focus to the given control on the window. Then other method is a control set text, which is used to the give the file path which need to the upload. Means is the set text of the control. And the other method is a control click, which is used to send a mouse click command to a given control. So in the AutoIT script editor, we have to call the three method like control focus, control set text, and the control key. And in the Selenium script, in the script we have to write that is runtime dot get runtime and the dot exec. So here runtime is a class which allow the script to interface with the environment in which script is running, and the get runtime is a method which get the current runtime associated with the process. So also here exec is a method which is execute the AutoIT script, and this AutoIT script is made here with the help of this AutoIT script editor. The next question is, what are the challenges have you faced during the parallel execution? So the first is a test data management, because when the parallel test executions require the test to operate on the separate or the independent data, and if the test use shared data, it can result in the data corruptions on the inconsistent result. So for that, we use the isolated test data or the mock data to ensure tests do not interfere with each other. Also, we use the parameterized test to vary the input data across different rates. Other other way like concurrency issue. So when the tests run in the parallel, there may be the in the race condition, because multiple tests are the in the running the parallelly. So where the tests interface with each other and accessing or modifying shared resources simultaneously. For that we will use the synchronization concept, that it says synchronization can be used to manage the access to the shared resources. And also we can use the local test variable in the parallel execution to avoid the conflict. Other challenges like the parallel test execution may lead to resources contention, where multiple tests try to access the same resources like database, file system, network, or hardware at the same time, causing delay or failure. For that, the solution will be that we have to ensure resources are properly isolated for the each test cases. For example, we will use the separate test database or the file system for the different test state. Other is a test order dependency. Challenge like if the tests are not independent, the order in which they run might affect the result. This is especially problematic in the parallel execution where tests may be run out of the sequence and depend on the order. For that solution will be that we have to ensure each test is independent and does not rely on the state set by the previous state, and we have to adopt the principle of the test isolation. And the last is a flaky test. Flaky test means running the test in the parallel can expose the flaky test. Lala means tests that pass the intermediately, often due to the timing issue, race condition, or shared resources. Mean test that pass periodically. Also here we would say that periodically. Test that we pass the periodically due to the timing issue, race condition or the shared resources. The solution will be that identify an isolated flaky test, implement retry mechanism or timeout management to handle the transition issue. Find out the root causes of flaky test and refactor them to ensure they are stable and reliable in the parallel environment. Other challenges like timing issue. Timing issue means when we run the parallel test execution, it may introduce the timing issue such as race condition or non-deterministic behavior where tests may fail or behave differently based on the timing event. So solution for this timing issue, like we have to introduce delay or wait condition in our Selenium script. So use the synchronization techniques such as explicit wait or event driven model to handle the timing issue. So in this these are the challenges that we have faced in the parallel execution, and to avoid this all issue, with careful planning and proper tool, parallel test execution can be the highly effective strategy for improving testing efficiency while maintaining the reliability and accuracy of your test. Now move to the next question, that is, if the test cases are running for the 10 hour in automation and the manager asks to reduce the 10 hours to 10 hours, 8 hours, how will you reduce it? So for that we will use the parallel test execution because it is the most effective way to reduce the test execution time by running the test in the parallel. Instead of running the test sequentially or independently, we can distribute the test cases across the multiple thread or multiple machine or multiple environment. So for that we have to use the test automation framework that support the parallel execution like test NGJ unit and the Selenium grid. Then we have to divide the test into the smaller group based on its functionality and the feature and execute them simultaneously across different browser, different operating system or the different multiple machine. For example, if we have to 10 hours of the test execution time and we have to running them on the 5 machine in parallelly, it could be reduce the time to the 2 hours. The next technique like prioritizing the critical test cases, that is we call it the risk based testing. So focus on the running the most important or the most critical test. Implement a risk based testing approach to prioritize the test cases that are most likely to catch the defect or have the highest impact. So first we have to identify the highest priority feature. Highest priority feature frequently use the path or most recent changes to the application. Also use test case tagging like critical, smoke, high priority to mark the most important test for the faster execution. Consider the running only smoke or regression test during the specific cycle and running full test suite on the less frequency suite. Other technique to reduce the time like optimize the test script. So for that we have to review and optimize the automation script. Then insufficient or poorly written script can slow down the test execution. It may be one of the reason. So insufficient or poorly written script may be slow down our the test execution. For that we will use the wait concept in our Selenium script, like use explicit wait, that is web driver wait in Selenium instead of the implicit wait, because implicit wait is applicable to the all element which is present on the web page and the explicit wait will apply to the particular element. And then optimize the browser interaction, like reduce the number of browser interaction, for example avoid unnecessary page reload, unnecessary navigation or unnecessary or reductant the click that do not contribute to the test. Also we have to use like reduce unnecessary assertion, like limit assertion to only those that validate the core functionality. Paralyze the test data preparation means if the test requires setting up the specific data, consider preparing the data in the parallel with the test execution. Now the next question is which domain have you worked on or which domain you have used. So we have to tell here like domain name like e-commerce, healthcare, banking and insurance domain. Next question is what is working in the Cucumber BDD? BDD means behavior driven development. So basically Gherkin is a language which is used in the Cucumber to write the test scenario in a structure or readable format. It is used to define the behavior of the software through the simple, understandable syntax that can be easily understood by the both technical and not technical person or stakeholder. The next question is what is meant by the overloading and overriding in the Java? So first is method overloading. Method overloading is a features of the compile time polymorphism in Java where you define the multiple method with the same name in the same class but they differ in the number or the type of the parameter. Overload method must have a different method signature means different parameter type or count but can have the same method name. On the other side, method overriding is a feature of runtime polymorphism. Method overloading is a feature of compile time polymorphism and the method overriding is a feature of runtime polymorphism, also called the dynamic method dispatch, where a subclass provides its own specific implementations of a method that is already defined in the superclass. The method signature, that is name, parameter and return type in the subclass must be the same as in the superclass. The next question is the what is epic and the what is user story. So basically epic and user story terminology is used in the agile. So we will see what is epic and what is user story. Epic is a large and high level feature of the functionality that can divide the multiple sprint or entire project. Epic are typically broken down into smaller or more manageable work items such as user story as the project progress. Example of epic like develop the user authentication system and this may include the everything from the login functionality, password recovery, multiple factor authentication and the security feature. Now we see the what is user story. User story means it is a smaller or the more specific unit of work that describes the feature or the requirement for a perspective of the end user or the customer. User story focus on delivering a small valuable piece of the functionality that can be completed within a single sprint. Here example of user story like as a user I want to log into my account using my email and the password so that I can access my personalized setting. The next question is what is velocity? So velocity is also the term in the agile. Like in agile, velocity is a measure of how much work a team can complete during the given iterations or the particular sprint. And also here the next question is asked like how velocity is calculated. So in the previous question we saw that what is velocity? Velocity is a measurement of how much work team can be complete during a particular iterations or during the particular sprint. The sprint may for the 2 week, 4 week, 8 week like that. So how velocity is calculated? Velocity calculated by the summing up the story point completed during the sprint. Now we will see how the calculated the velocity. So assign the story point to the user story. Means during sprint planning, the team estimate the effort required for each user story using story point. For example, a story that takes more effort may be assigned the 5 point, while the simple story might be the 1 point. Means the story which is more complex, it will take the 5 point, and the story which is simple, so it will take the 1 point. Now we'll see the track completed work. At the end of the sprint, the team reviews the work completed. Only the user story that can complete it are included in the calculation, and any story that is partially completed or not finished, it will not include in the calculation. How the sum of the story point? The velocity of sprint is the total sum of the story point for the completed user story. For example, if a team complete the 3 user story, that is work point, 2 point, 5 point and 3 point. The velocity of the sprint will be the 2 plus 5 plus 3 is equal to 10 story point. In this way, its velocity is a 10. Now the next example is In this way, we see that is sprint 1 completed story 3.5.2 point in total velocity is equal to 10 point. In the sprint 2, that is 8.5 point, velocity will be the 13 point. Now the next question is, have you performed the code review? And if yes, how will you do it? So for the code review, first we have to understand the requirement and the context, because before reviewing the code, I first ensure that I understand the context and the problem being solved and the project's requirement. This may include reading the documentation or discuss with the team or the person who wrote the code. The second is check the code quality and the readability. Quality and the readability means first with I check if the code is easy to understand, then clear naming convention, appropriate comment, and well structured function are essential. Consistency means I ensure that the code follow the coding standard and style guideline like consistent naming convention, indentation, and the formatting. The next is a review for the correctness. Review for the correctness means first I check the code perform the intended operation correctly or not, or does it have a logical error, does it have a bug. Then examine it edge cases or the boundary conditions are handled properly or not. I verify that the code is adequately tested. Means unit test should cover the key scenario and integration test should ensure the system work together as expected. The last is a will check the documentation. So I review if the code is well documented or not, especially public method, classes, and the complex algorithm. And if there is a insufficient documentation, so I would recommend the adding the comment or the documentation. Now the next question is, if the Tosca or the load runner on the Selenium, which tool is used for the which testing? So basically, Selenium is a web automation tool and the Tosca is a model-based testing tool. And the load runner is used to perform the test and application under the load, means it can simulate the thousands of concurrent user to produce real-time load transaction and analyze the result. The next question is, how will you integrate the Jenkins with your framework? So to integrate the Jenkins with your framework, first we have to download the Jenkins in our machine. After installation the Jenkins in our machine, so we have to open the command prompt and type the java hyphen jar and enter the path of the .war file. And after that we have to press the enter button and we have to check Jenkins.war file has started to run and check the status information on the command prompt. After that, it should show that Jenkins is fully up and running. Now we have to check whether the Jenkins is ready to use, means by default it uses the port 8080. So we have to type this URL in our browser and we have to press the enter button. So it will open our the Jenkins dashboard. As soon as is open the Jenkins dashboard, then we have to start the Jenkins server. Then we have to open the browser and navigate to the local host. And here we have used the port like 8080. So we have to check here whether port is running or not. So after that we have to see the dashboard like this. So here we have to click on the new item in the dashboard. Then we have to enter the project name and here we have to select the project type as a Maven project. In this way we have to select the Maven project. Now click OK and you could see a job being created successfully message in the dashboard. Now click the project and also click the configure. Under the build section, enter the complete of your pom.xml file and in the go line option, enter the command clean test. Like here. In the root pom, here we have to give the path of our pom.xml file and in our the go line the option we have to give the clean test command. Now we have to click the apply and we have to save it. Then we have to build. Click on the build now. Now the build will run and after successful completion of the build, the result will be displayed. And to view the complete log, click the console output. In this way, we have seen the round 2 interview question, which is the techno managerial round. And in the round 3, HR will ask this question, that is salary kitne loge, that is are you able to relocate, and perk and benefit. So these are the questions which asks in the round 2, which is the techno managerial round. You can check the all those questions. I will give the a link in the description box. So and I prepared the notes which contain 2000 plus interview question and its answer. And I have gathered the all interview question from the LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Telegram, and we have to try to provide the answer. I will give the notes link in the description box and the comment box also. And this document will definitely use to crack the interview. In upcoming days, we will update the document as I get the more question. Go through this link and read all the interview question. This is all about the interview question which are asked in the Infosys interview. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like content, then do like, comment, share and subscribe. Once again, thank you. See you in the next video.